So at the heart of Never Ending Referrals is the DTD2 system. Because Gary Keller has told us for years that real estate is a contact sport, we're going to share a demonstration with you around something we call the 3-attempt approach so that you increase your likelihood of actually making those contacts.
Hey, greetings, Never Ending Referrals. It's Coach Steve Schlueter, and hey, we're here today to demonstrate the 3-attempt approach. It's DTD2 time, and let's say it's A and W week. And so I'm going to be reaching out this week to my A's and my W's. In fact, the first person on my list is Tammy Anderson. So I'll be reaching out to Tammy. And by the way, so it's Monday. I've got 50 people in my DTD2 group, A and W. And right below Tammy happens to be Bruce Anderson. Now, Bruce is her husband. Here's a quick NER tip, is I'm going to separate them and call them separately. See, Bruce and Tammy, they've got some different circles in terms of peers and social networks and connections. They've different alumni groups. They work at different places, have some separate hobbies that sometimes the other's not involved in. And so one might know of an opportunity the other doesn't or isn't privy to. So in this case, I'm going to call them separately. I'm calling Tammy right now. She's the first of my 50 attempts here on Monday. So here we go. Let's make that call to Tammy. Call number 1. Tammy's not picking up, so here we're going to leave a voicemail for Tammy. Hey Tammy, it's Steve Schlueter, your realtor. Hey, checking in with you today. I had a quick question for you regarding real estate, and also you've been on my mind, wanted to check in with you guys. You can reach me today at 555-1212. I'll be around in the afternoon. If you don't reach me today, no worries. I'll reach out to you later in the week. I'm sure we'll connect eventually. Trust everybody's doing well. We'll connect soon. Take care. So I left the voicemail. Call number 1 is complete. Now you notice I promised that I would reach back out to Tammy during the week. So if she doesn't call back, when I call to make that second attempt, it's not a surprise, it's not a nuisance, I'm just keeping my promise. In fact, when we reach out in number 2, the pickup rate tends to go up in many cases because they're now expecting your call. In fact, they wouldn't want to feel like they were ignoring you, right? So let's go to attempt number 2. And let's say, by the way, during attempt number 1, let's say I talked to 15 of my 50. So that's 30% of my contacts in my A&W group that I actually got to have a conversation with on Monday. So now we're on Wednesday. I've got, 35 of my 50 that I've not connected. I'm making attempt number 2. Let's call Tammy again. All right. Gosh, Tammy's not picking up. Let's leave, we're not going to leave a voicemail today. So, yep, there it is. There's the voicemail. We're not going to leave a voicemail. I've already told her that we would attempt to reach her later in the week, so it's not like I'm doing anything rude. Made my attempt. So I'm going to move through my list quickly. Should be able to move through my remaining 35 quickly. And let's say that I was able to now talk to 10 of the remaining 35. So I've now talked to 25 of the 50. So instead of 30% of my DTD2 group having had a conversation with them, I'm now up to 50%. And now we go to attempt number 3. Attempt number 3, I'm going to do attempt number 3 on Thursday. I'm going to do it at a different block of time. So I'm going to go in at 5 o'clock to 7 to go ahead and do some lead generation around that last contact to that DTD2 group. So let's reach out to them now, and we're going to make attempt number 3. Let's call Tammy again. Gosh, Tammy's not picking up again. Let's leave a voicemail this time on this final attempt. Hey, Tammy, it's Steve Schlueter. Hey, sorry I missed you this week. Was hoping to connect with you. Just had a little update on some things going on in real estate. I tell you what, I'll drop a little something in the mail to you, and I'm sure we'll connect again real soon. Trust you guys are doing fantastic. Tell Bruce hello, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. So that was attempt number 3. Now, let's say during attempt number 3, I had 25 people that I hadn't connected with, and that I connect now with 15 of the remaining 25. They've been expecting my call. They've seen me on their caller ID, and that means there's 10 of the 50 I did not connect with. That means I connected with 80% of the people in my A&W group. So what do I do with the remaining 10? Well, I might do a quick Kelly snap and text that to them. Say, hey, here's a quick little market update. We didn't connect this week and yet wanted you to be informed on what's going on in the market. Of course, that means you have to have your database tagged with their neighborhood information, right? Or I just write them a personal note. In fact, I would write them a personal note regardless, the lost art of the personal note. And so you could do a Kelly snap, you could send a text message, send the Kelly via text, and that could be a way of just giving them that little extra value added touch. The personal note will be the big touch. So think about what just happened. Because we practiced the 3-attempt approach, we talked to 80% of our A&W group. That's when referrals have the opportunity to happen. It's when we have those conversations with our database. They get to experience you coming from contribution and having great energy around this. Now, here's the great thing for you high asserters. And we're going to talk about behavior in session 2 of Never Ending Referrals. For the high asserters, here's what's great about the DTD2 approach as it pertains to the 3-attempt approach. And that is, you get a beginning and an end each and every week with this little thing called the 3-attempt approach. And think about what it feels like Thursday afternoon when you're done. You're going to go, wow, I did my job. So a couple of final thoughts on the 3-attempt approach and DTD2. Number one, when you do leave a voicemail, remember this, make it always okay for them not to call you back. You notice when we left a message, we said, hey, no worries, I'll get back to you later. Always make it okay. We don't ever want anybody to ever feel guilty that they haven't called you back or that's nagging on them. So always remember that little tip when you leave a voicemail. It's always okay to not call you back. So take a few moments now, and I want you to jot some notes down. What are some of the opportunities you see in the 3-attempt approach and that you also see in DTD2? Now, when it comes to the 3-attempt approach, again, we would really recommend this maybe twice a year, 2 of your DTD2 cycles. When you know you've really got something powerful in terms of contribution, maybe like the 5-star script, and you're building something of value for your database, great time to do a 3-attempt approach. You don't have to do it every cycle, and yet maximizing those contacts, well, we know that's what it's all about, right? And then how are you going to make this sticky, this thing called DTD2? How are you going to make sure that maybe you get people around you doing it, that it becomes, this is the way we do it here. So take a few thoughts, make some notes, mastermind with somebody else. How do we make this really powerful around us and make it something, well, it's just what we do. So DTD2, stay on it and practice the 3-attempt approach, 2 cycles a year at least.